Hi everybody. One thing I'm doing here is I'm decorating with a technique called Scraffito. Scraffito is the Italian word for scratching. So I made a tray with black clay, and then I put a white clay slip. Slip is a liquid clay over top of it, not the frame part, but just the base part. After the slip lost its sheen, was dry enough, I outline my design. Now, of course, I'm doing it on a leather hard tray, and so I let it dry, just stiff firmness up before I put the slip on. And then I go and I outlined my sunflowers with a dull pencil. Just drew my design on with the dull pencil. Sunflowers is black-eyed Susans, I should say, or whatever flower you want, actually. Then after that, then once I've got the outline, I go with my very small carving tool just to carve around the outside of the petals. That's the first thing that I do. Once I've carved around the outside, I'm going to carve the inside of the sunflower too. So what I'm doing is what I want to stay black, I'm carving the white off of it. And then I will paint the flowers later on. I can leave it white or I can paint it with underglaze paint. So anyway, so I go around the outside. I'm just carving out the outside of the petals just so that I don't go into it, just to give me my outline. And then I'm carving the inside of it. When I carve for the largest spot, I just switch to a round tool so it carves it out a little bit better. It's easier to carve out instead of all these little pieces. But as I'm carving out, I'm not too careful about making sure everything's smooth, because I think the extra texture in the clay and the black clay, my carving lines, it makes it look nicer and just gives it just a different look of it. So I'm just gonna take the tool and carve out right to the edge of the frame there. When I get to the open spaces, the larger spaces, I'll change my carving tool to even a larger one, so that so it's easier to carve out with the larger pieces. So I've actually used 3 different carving tools to carve this off. To carve all the white slip off of the black clay. because I'm always switching back and forth with my carving tools depending on what I'm going to carve out. Now I'm going back to the last flower, just carving the outline in it. So I'm back to the smallest triangle carving tool that I've got to get into the fine details. After I'm finished with all the carving, I take a dry paintbrush, just brush up all the crumbs, because I don't want any crumbs. The crumbs can stick to the tray when I'm firing it in the kiln, so I just want to make sure it's all cleaned up and get all the crumbs off of there. When I've got all the crumbs off, then I can see if I needed to touch up anything, there's any little white spots, then I'm just cleaning up the edges to make sure it's nice and smooth, and just getting a few of the rough edges off, just to clean it up a little bit. After the tray was bisque fired, I decided to paint the flowers yellow, give you sunflower flowers. I made 2 trays, one with the butterfly as well too. Guys, thanks for watching. You can support my YouTube channel by liking and subscribing to me. See you later. Bye.